Answering.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I want to make sure. Did you find what you wanted?
No, I have not. I don't know what the fuck to get. The weapon's minusculely stronger than mine, so I don't know if to go with the fucking weapon or armor.
Armor, probably. Start with the chest piece.
No, I don't have enough. Barely enough. I only have enough for boots. I didn't take to look at the...
If you have at least 100 tokens left over after you buy a piece of, talk to the gear exchange person, and they'll give you an upgraded version for. You don't have enough for another gear piece. Want to get a better piece? Talk to the chick at the end table over. Turn it in. Give you a better copy.
I don't have enough elegant tokens for any of that. I got the most expensive that I could.
Not a little Estinian, is it?
No.
Oh, it's the forget its name's hard.
No. I never got the sheep. This was the only thing I managed to get.
Fairly sure the sheep can be farmed somewhere. Just haven't looked at it.
Probably not.
I know there's a store-bought version of the sheep that's different than that we would buy.
Not necessarily my point.
Look how many people there are. Can we get to it then? Pick up anything that seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make
Look how many people there are. Should we get to it then? Pick up anything that seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make ourselves a pile.
A pile.
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour, maybe you'll change our look. We've found bugger all without you.
Biggs! Wedge!
From the start. Jesse called the chief was the one that
Aye, aye. Well, we could hardly say no to a call for aid from the Scions. Jesse called it the chief of some other business. So we'll be working twice as hard to make up for his not being here.
Thank you.
Thrice as hard, even.
I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
Thank you, both of you. I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
seeing anything out here.
I'm not seeing anything out here. Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
I could try if you like.
Tataru, no! We couldn't ask you to do that.
Oh, I'll be fine. This receptionist is not afraid to get her hands dirty.
Sorry, I meant to say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet, so we're not supposed to venture too far in.
What's that you got there?
What's that you got there? Now that looks promising.
Isn't that the ironworks symbol? Counterfeiters?
Now I have you.
You are right.
What's happening?
We're taught.
Stay with me. Focus on my voice. Let expanse contract. Eon become instant.
Wait, this must be it. The device. Well, this is supposed to happen.
Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Oh, safe journey, warrior of light. Find our friends and bring them home.
It is a day for faded reunions.
Thank you
For showing me the dawn's light will shine again.
Oh, do not look at me so.
You're slaves to a tyrant. There's no freedom in that.
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you!
I must say your spirited accounts always come as a welcome change.
We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this.
Everything was asked of us, and still came to this.
Your time has not yet come.
Your time not yet come.
Oh, by the way, this isn't going to be any expansion we've.
From endless dreams I awake. Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
Yet urgent. What was it actually?
Again?
There to meet someone out here who's not a peddler themselves. What brings you into the wilds this time of night?
Someone out here is not a peddler himself. What brings you into the
It's not the same guy.
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me granddad, God's rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time.
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book.
And when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk, you, he'd reply.
And when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk yet he'd reply.
Over 100 bleeding years ago, that's when.
Over 100 bleeding years ago, that's when.
You got that look down to a T. I'd almost think you meant it. Ah, got to you, did they?
We're in the first world.
That explains it then. Well, I've roads to travel and wares to sell, but you best hurry along to the town nearby. Just head east through the trees and aim for the Shining Tower. You'll find the place soon enough. 'Tis the biggest settlement for malms around. Go on now, friend. They'll take good care of you in the Crystarium.
Go on now, friend. They'll take good care of you in the Crystarium.
To dizzying heights it rises.
So this has to be... This has to be the first world.
The blinding canopy.
The Warriors of Darkness's world.
There, it will all begin anew. Between dark and light. The pure and the corrupt. The one true struggle.
Fairly sure we'll be instanced before so we get to the town.
And lo and behold, we can't use a mount, we actually have to fucking walk.
Halt!
Every face in this city I know. Yours I do not. This is the threshold of the Crystarium, stranger, and I am its gatekeeper. If you would enter, you will answer my questions. From where do you hail? Do you take me for a fool? No such place exists. Had you given me an honest answer, I would not have barred your way. We care little here for a person's place of origin. But instead, you chose concealment. And I will not suffer you to pass.
We care little here for a person's place of origin. But instead, you chose concealment.
That one had eaten. It must have gulped down the whole hand. Ring and all.
It must have gulped down the whole hand. Ring and all.
Everything all right, Captain?
Everything all right, Captain?
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray sin eater, and a weak one at that.
Quite all right, my lord.
I see.
Just
Weak
a
or not, we
stray
should be on the
sin
lookout
eater,
for
and a
more.
weak one at that.
But I see you've met my guest. I will escort him to the Crystarium myself, if you've no objections.
Another of your mysterious friends, is it? I should have known. Very well. I'll inform the others your guest is to be given the run of the city.
I should have known. Very well. I'll inform the
Pray
others
forgive
your
my
guest
less than
is to be given
cordial
the run of the
welcome. May the rest of your stay with us be a pleasant one.
Pray forgive my less than cordial welcome.
Come
May
with
the
me.
rest of your stay
I will
with
answer
us
whatever
be a
questions you
pleasant
have when we are somewhere more private.
I will answer whatever questions you have.
Right then, before we plunge into the wheres and wherefores, let me first thank you for answering my summons.
Well, they give me a choice there, bud.
I had intended to bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off. That you were still able to make the crossing unharmed is... And so, we come to the question of where. The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections, or shards. The first, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact. As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title of Crystal Exarch, I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions.
As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose Crystal Exarch, in my capacity as
That is a question with no simple answer. But all shall be explained in due course, I promise you. Let us begin with the glaring skies up above. Here in the first, the world has been all but consumed by primordial light.
Let us begin with the glaring skies above.
It began a century ago, by this realm's reckoning. A luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of this star was lost. And the fortunate few who survived are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now. Sin Eaters, we call them. The creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity. It was to save the first from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds. That I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes. And though it meant depriving a world of its champion, I had to try, for in saving the first, you would bring salvation to the source as well. What manner of host harangues his guests in the middle of the road? Let us continue our talk within the Crystarium.
Enslaving the fast, you would bring salvation to the cause. Wow. What manner of host harangues his guests? Let us continue our talk within the Crystarium.
Such a proud and vibrant city. The sole sanctuary for the living in a world all but
I thought they
designed to
provided warnings when you were going to be watching infinite cutscenes.
each stone was laid with hope. The town itself a symbol, a monument to defiance in the face of death. No would-be hero could fail to answer its call. For who among us does not yearn for salvation?
Wow, even a Balja are here. So then that begs the question, where are the others? Like, where's the first?
He'll start explaining as soon as we continue. Now, to be full frank discussion, the privacy of my study seemed to be in order. But I think your conversation will remain until would you first gain a firmer grasp of the situation here. To that end, I would like you to visit the customer civic leader, leading something of the world in its predicament. Just tell me. As you can see, the path will take you directly to the Aetheryte, a convenience of which I am sure you're only all too familiar. Being the rightful object, my summoning spell, you should be, in theory, be able to reach all the way back to your etheric trail to find the connection to the source, believe it or not. I strongly suggest you complete this attunement before venturing any further. After you have done so, walk up the steps to the Aetheryte and head out to the left to arrive in the crystalline mean. This is where you'll find our collective of crafters and gatherers, as well as the spokeswoman, Catless, one of our people I should like you to meet. Other is Morin. To reach him and his cabinet of curiosity, you'll have to avoid the aforementioned steps and take the exit to the left and simply continue straight along down. Came from a large doors at the end of the path. The third and final person I should let you meet is Roggy, our own man in charge of the trade of distribution. He will be found in the markets, which you can access to the opposite side of the Aetheryte Plaza. Taking each of the colleagues visit districts of the city and hopefully gain a place. Trust my directions for some. Very good. I can see the layout of the Castarium owes a strictness in planning, but I'm sure hope you learned its twists and turns before long. In all honesty, the true challenge may be in finding your way to the approach its citizens. As you've discovered during your encounter with the captain, the people of this world are unaware of the existence of other stars, struggle to accept the truth of your origin. That being the case, whence you hail, that inevitably will, I suggest you claim you share a homeland with the Crystal Exarch. There is an unspoken rule here about peering too deeply into a particular mystery. When you finished, meet with me in the Castanarium. Can I out? No, I have to walk. I guess I'll go up the stairs first and just do the order he advised. Oh, fuck. After I touch the crystal. I love how that crystal has different colors. Not just a single blue. Catless. Fuck with goods, isn't it? But not here. I'm going to guess you're new to the fair city. Well, for what it's worth, you've chosen to find sanctuary. The Exarch can throw up a barrier that's from knocking, so the damn sight after you're out there. Safer, more civilized too. Thanks to us, the mean work together to materials and resources, crafts, and goods which make city life possible. This is a place to visit a coat mended or a kettle forged. Just don't go thinking it'll be handed over on a plate like those Lamoran layabouts. Here at the Castanarium, we work for a living. So I see you're no stranger to honest labor. You do have that whiff of indolence about you, like some folk I've met. Still, I can't quite pin down your profession. From. Oh. See. Well, then I'll work twice as hard to make you feel very welcome. Our city wouldn't even exist if it weren't for him, and any friend is a friend of ours. It's really quite incredible when you think about it. They say this grand magic summoned the Crystal Tower into existence, pulled the entire thing out of thin air. It wasn't long before droves of refugees began congregating around its base and desperate for shelter from homes to the floor. And that's how the Castanarium began. At the Exarch's invitation, buildings started to go up, and the help of the curious relics they bought for the tower in place gradually expanded with thriving metropolis you see today. The city stood here for decades now, yet the oldest among us, I swear the Exarch looked exactly the same as when he did back then. It isn't a bit of any mysteries, but for all secrecy has never yet let us down. So if he and you wish to remain silent about your shared homeland, then the folk here will respect your wish for privacy. I am, however, more than a little curious to see what craft and talent you might be hiding. If you are to contribute on the front, be sure to come back and once you have the chance to settle in. Just ask for Catless and I'll have you a niche here in the Crystal Mean. You can help us with the cogs of the city east and turning. Aether Shard. Oh, I like that. It looks so different. guess that's the under area. There's a crystal up above Catless.
I haven't gone up there yet to talk to the guy. I'll deal with that one here in a minute.
I mean, at least the good news is that if this place really does get that much sunlight, these plants got to grow pretty damn big to be in constant sunlight. Okay, down the hole. Dig a hole, dig a hole, dig a hole, dig a hole, dig a hole. Oh wow, that's a beautiful, beautiful freaking tree. Holy crap. Oh, Morin. Excuse me, sir. Are you recently come to the city perchance? Quite familiar with our civic roles, you see it as well. What I mean to ask you is, have you brought any books with you? A rumpled scroll even? A scrap of scribble on parchment? My apologies. Literature is something I am of an obsession of mine, as well as a profession. Librarian Morin at your service. Its humble collection is known as the Cabinet of Curiosity. As your powers of perception have likely informed me, my colleagues and I are responsible for curating all manner of tomes, documents, and other written word. As horrific as the loss of life and land wrought the flood, unquestionably was the damage to recorded knowledge was no less catastrophic. We few do all we can to preserve that wisdom that survived. But tell me, what brings you to the cabinet today? Looking for any title in particular? Mayhap a spot of the academic research? Oh! So you're interested in modern history. Splendid. A thorough review of recent events can often yield novel perspectives. I quite agree. If you would prefer something visual to accompany the account, I think I have an illustrated history for children somewhere. Just a moment, I'll fetch it for you. Children's book? How? Thinks I'm a kid? Emotional damage. And here we are. I'd like to pull up a chair and make yourself more comfortable. On to the lesson then.
Emotional damage.
100 years ago, or near enough not to matter, villains known as the Warriors of Light slew the Shadowkeeper, the Steward of Darkness. In the wake of this tainted deed, light began to pour out of the world as if from some unseen crack. It pooled and swelled without cease, until the day an enormous building wave rose up and swept across our star. We called this calamity flood of light. Everything it touched was leached of life and vigor, leaving naught behind but a luminous wasteland. Just when it seemed as if all would be lost, our savior appeared before us, the Oracle of Light. She stood twixt us and approached doom, and by her power did she stay the flood. Thus was Norvrent, and Norvrent alone spared of the fate of the Eraser. Tragedy would, however, arrive in the form, in another form. From the blasted emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspect, but evil few folk could survive. Sinners were light incarnate, and their fulgurant presence stole the night from Ordvent sky. Even now, they circle the remaining wasteland of civilization, even ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for our flesh. And thus did the world become what it is. Should we ever wish to hear the tale again, I would be glad to retell it to you. Oh, or if you would rather speak of other matters, that too would be my pleasure. I should be glad of the company. Guy's like a kid. Like, he doesn't look like it, but he's a kid at a candy store. I mean, all things considered, it is a nice library, though. Hello, Broggy. Here's a city friend, the spinning head and wide eyes give you away. Welcome, my name is Broggy, and I'm the master of these markets. And gave the district another official title, but I am not in the habit of using it. Too florid by half. In any case, our merchants stock and range of equipment and beasts, such as yourself, so finding something in your size shouldn't be a problem. Sorry, did you say beat? Something wrong? See if we can straighten this out. See those two in front of us? The shorter is a Hume, and the taller one is an elf. The sturdy individual over there is a Galgent, whilst the one with horns is a Drawn. And then you have the large, scaly chaps with long tail and a knack for raising livestock. Those are the Zun. Which is apparently not the name you know them by. Now I'm curious to know what far-flung region you hail from. The same as the Exarch. Well, that explains it. You don't get much further flung than that. We've had a few of your lot pass through here in recent years, and despite their obvious learning, they floundered over the smallest things. But not to worry. Should you find yourself confused by the local language or customs, I'll be here to answer your questions. Apparently, the Viera, known as the V. Yay! Actual quest. Run, 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 run. I've found you. Oh wait, did I miss a crystal? I did, I missed the crystal in the shopping district. Damn. Peace.
He called me a dwarf.
He called you a dwarf.
I'm like, excuse me, mother.
Shows you right, you short laddie.
He called me a... all the... I'm like, excuse me?
One more crystal.
There's another one that you can't get to right now.
Oh my god, blue mage. Blue mage. Alright, now we can all go back to the main crystal.
Wait, how the fuck did I get over here? This is not where I wanted to go. Go away.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab the crystal next to the stairs where he's at, and let me know when you're there.
I don't have that one.
There is one that was near that was up higher. It looks on the map like it's underground, but it's not. It's towards where the first chick was, but it's up on top of a run. If you want to go up there real quick, I can guide you to it. It's you need to go to the Timos Rookery, I think. Crystal. Dude, there is a guy like 40 feet off the ground doing pull-ups.
There you are.
Seriously, this guy. He's doing pull-ups on a bar higher than he should even be able to get to. How the hell did you get up there? I'm at the MSQ when you're ready.
Still finishing mine. Though if I'm being honest, we're gonna have to call it here in a few. I don't know about Fox, but I've been staring at screens all day. I have headache. Not to mention, don't need to get to where we're playing. We don't need an incident like Monday.
Or we just have like 2 cutscenes and that's it. Just trying to get us to the last bit of the exposition so we could get to the story beat that makes it interesting. Which is literally him explaining more about the world.
Right, and I don't fault that, baby. It's just, again, I don't want to get... We really can't afford to get so engrossed and then spend a whole bunch of time and then make ourselves tired, because I understand you don't have work, but I have work and so does Josh. He tends to get to where he can't get up in the mornings to go to work, and then I turn into a not so nice person. Neither one of those things are good. I'm on my way to the quest person, so...
Oh.
I'm right here. So whenever you're ready.
Alright. How did you fare? My colleagues from the get a clear picture of the world and its people? This was your treated with the most thorough introduction. My understanding was a chore, but it was necessary to grasp things before we proceed. As for the Crystal Tower's origin, you have noticed that the details are sparse. The structure is in fact the self-same one you know from the source, transported for the first in its entirety. It was my first attempt at breaching the boundaries between worlds, something of a trial run for your eventual crossing. And although I do not know which era I tore it from, I do know that its arrival served to set up the wheels of fate in motion. You've done as I requested, and I learned something, but I have the bargain and explain to you what helps your comrades. This is the conversation I would rather have in the privacy of my quarters. This, of course, could be open or closed just like any other. That seems strange to you. I know they function in your time, but I assure you there is no danger of being locked, of what's locked inside. Oh my god, I've got to go to the bathroom. Hey, before you talk to the gatekeeper. Oh.
Too late.
Oh.
Their arrival was not as recent as in the plan. Here, time flows at a different pace in Russian schools. In the space of a single hour of your career, an entire year knocks works. Whereas the pace of luxury is different. seem to be entering a period of being thus, remember, leaving open concern yourself. Even my intention has not been to send them here, but the art of which you have wealth to prove you feeding them.
How is it that she ate shrimp and my butt's the one screaming? Oh. That means I gotta do the cutscene now. Oh, my butt. I know.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study. We can speak here without fear of being overheard. I have much to explain. But the truths which I must touch upon in doing so would cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep that in mind. Now, I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow Scions. To put it simply, they are here in the First. Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the Source. In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the first, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted. That said, we seem to be entering a period of near equivalence, and thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time. As for your companions, however, Yustola and Urianger have dwelled here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5.
Fucking hell, Thancred!
Even our more recent arrivals, Alphino and Alize, have lived in the first for almost a year. My intention had been to summon only you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well. As they were not the object of my summons, their transference was incomplete. Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are, in truth, merely spirits that one can see and touch. Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom, they will not. Much as it grieves me, they are stranded here, unable to return. We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. In the beginning, at least. As you may have surmised, however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey through the rift. In that chaotic no-man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways.
Yeah, she's eating.
What Urianger saw was the future. That which would one day come to pass. In his vision of tomorrow, the first was rejoined with the Source. This collision of worlds brought about the 8th umbral calamity and the deaths of countless multitudes. Amongst those who perished, Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. He watched you die. And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours. Their souls are stranded in the first, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction. Nor have their efforts been in vain, for it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity. Considering these circumstances of our meeting, you would be forgiven for doubting my version of events. And so, before all else, I would suggest you track down your comrades and hear the tale from their lips. I shall of course be happy to assist in these reunions, and you need not make any decisions regarding your involvement until you are certain of where you stand. Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home. What say you? Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least? Excellent. You will not regret this. With that settled, we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road. Traveling across the rift has no doubt left you weary. I will arrange for a room where you might rest in comfort. While it's being prepared, perhaps I can show you around.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that other crystal. Alright. 1 second, let me go talk to him. Both residential districts have formed independence. As it turns out, it's perfect, so the path will take us to the markets and hoping to give an introduction to the wares. Come along. Alright, this is where the crystals come in handy. Okay, babe, I talked to him and I'm in the market.
Probably gonna die again because it doesn't seem to want to fucking charge, so...
Alright, well, I talked to him and I got to the markets. You can use the crystal to get to him.
Get to who where?
Talk to the crystal guy, and then he asks you to meet him at the markets.
This is the Musica Universalis, the commercial heart of the Crystarium. Aught you might need to prepare for your journeys can be purchased here. Ah, yes. You must be curious about the currency. Fear not. The gil you carry will serve you well enough. Each nation once minted its own coins, but after much debate, the local merchants eventually elected to revert to the old ways, wherein a coin's value was decided by the worth of its metal. As for a unit of measurement, we agreed upon the term gil, a word borrowed from coins uncovered within
and there it fucking died.
And as our traders peddled their wares across the land, so too did our usage of gil become
I
common
don't
practice.
even know where my other...
From what your stola tells me, a standard coin from the source equates to exactly 1 gil here, or near enough not to matter. Our way of life has benefited greatly from the artifacts we recovered from the tower, some of which may be familiar to you. But I fear it would not be practical for us to provide everything to which you are accustomed. You shall need a means to access the commodities of your homeworld. Avan Kerm Sin?
Yes, I'm here. Of course I'm here. What amusements do you have for me today?
My dear Feo Ul, paragon of pixie kind. For you, I have the most vital task. This fine gentleman is a friend from a distant realm, and we have need of a means to ferry things back and forth from his home. Might you be able to assist us in this matter?
You came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift? How wonderfully exciting! What a brave and reckless and marvelous thing you did! You've the heart of a pixie, you do. After careful consideration, I have decided to grant you my assistance. Make a pact with me and the fun can begin. But answer me this, traveler. Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth? Your nails? Just as I thought! Then you've a good stout connection with your home through which all your belongings, great and small, may easily pass. From this moment forth I will be your Isne Fis, and you my Sne Yak. Like the branch which sprouts from the sapling, our bond will flow unbroken from one to the other. Raise your hand. Tis done. We are bound now, dearest sapling. Come then. Make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit this world of yours.
Mayhap a message to your friends in the source to inform them of your safe arrival.
Consider it done.
As you heard, that was Feo Ul of the Pixies. Their kind possess an affinity for magic akin to that of arcane beings. They rarely show themselves in populated areas, but Feo is insatiably curious even by pixie standards, and seems to have taken a liking to the Crystarium. Right, we were going to organize a room for you, weren't we?
I know you. You're the warrior of light from the source. What? Did you just... You can hear me? Oh, gods, how long has it been? That was what I called myself in your world. My real name is Ardbert. I used an alias in the source, a daft one, looking back. If you recall my tale, it was my comrades and I who caused the flood. We thought our home doomed. And so we listened to the Ascians. I remember when we fell, defeated by you and yours. I remember our audience with Minfilia. How she listened to our pleas and returned our souls to the First. The flood was poised to swallow Norvrant, Minfilia and my friends. They surrendered what little they had left to hold it back. Just faded away, leaving me to bear witness. Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood? $100 years. 100 long years. My hands find no purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear. I am a shade, cursed to do naught but drift. I feel as if I've been walking forever. I hardly noticed when my mind and body began to fray at the edges. Then bang! My senses were sharp again. I felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room. Why is it that you can see me? What are you even doing here, come to that? You were summoned to save the First. A waste of time. This world is beyond saving, like those who try to save it. Muddled as my mind may be, I've not forgotten that. But if fate has brought me to you, the one person in this God's forsaken world who can see and hear me, then perhaps there is a reason I endured. If I can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end. Well, I'll be watching, Warrior of Light. But do me a favor. Be careful out there. This world has had its fill of heroes.